So here they go with the dumb stuff right here. The straight disrespect on Resurrection Weekend, of course. This is SNL. Listen what she says. Happy Easter, everyone. They don't even care about, like I said this in so many videos before, it's okay to disrespect, Christians and our faith. They'll never do that. They wouldn't have Allah come out there or anything like that. But it's just another thing, real ones know that Jesus is the only way. He's the only real God. That's why they're always taking cracks at him. The devil is mad and upset. I mean, the disrespect is absolutely ridiculous. But like I said in another video, Little Nas and these folks, if they can be that bold, Christians should look at that and say, you know what? Then I can be bold too. There's no reason for me not to be bold. There's no reason for me not to take a bold stand, because they blatantly are trying to come for us and they expect, we're just going to be silent. We're just going to be quiet. No, if enough of us step up, it's going to demand some type of respect, but we're going to have unity. And remember what I said before I go any further, talking about Joyner, Lucas, and all these other folks. The problem in Christianity, we got so much division, right? And, you don't believe like me, and you don't believe the same scripture like me, and this. So we got all these different denominations, and we're all separated and divided. And guess what? When the persecution comes, they're not going to care if you are Trinitarian, Pentecostal, Baptist, whatever. You believe in Jesus, we're coming for you just like that. This little skit, it wasn't aimed at Trinitarians. It wasn't aimed at oneness folk. It wasn't aimed at Baptist folk. It was just all you Jesus people. That's just something to think about. And so we should be able to come together in some kind of unity and at least take a stand. Now, I want to talk about this. Joyner Lucas, he came out and he reiterated a lot of the things that I said about this thing with Old Town Road. Notice, Old Town Road, all the kids were singing it, right? That was the first song that put this dude on the map. Then they, elevate, and he's got like black claws and black hair, and his appearance starts to change. He goes and he gets fake boobs, and then boom, this video where he's sliding down a pole and the hell, but the kids already love him. And so Joyner Lucas, right, he says, I think the biggest problem for me is the fact that he don't understand Old Town Road is every kid's anthem. Children love him for that record. This is facts. All the kids were singing it. They tuned in and subscribed to his channels. So with no disclaimer, this is what I was trying to get you to understand. And a lot of people in the world, they don't understand that this is the spirit of the Antichrist. It says with no disclaimer, he just dropped some left field-ish, and all our kids seen it, shaking my head. And that's what I've been saying from the beginning. What a lot of folks don't realize, it was part of the plan from the beginning. It was part of the plan, from the jump. That is something that they wanted to do. They planned it. It's not an accident. They've been pushing the agenda in school. They've been pushing the agenda everywhere. And so, he responded to it. Let me see if I could pull up the, Little Nas has been tweeting all kinds of stuff. Let me see. He said, I literally sing about lean and adultery in Old Town Road. You decided to let your child listen. Blame yourself. But you clearly were targeting children. I clearly remember him dressed in his cowboy outfit, going to schools and singing the song when he first got put on. And, people love to, use that argument. And yes, parents should monitor what their kids are looking at. But let's stop acting like, society isn't on a downward spiral. Like the stuff you see happening on the award shows, these women are just pretty much all the way naked, right? And just dancing and twerking. And, they're praised for that kind of stuff. And it's like, oh, it's empowering to do that. And then in the same breath, it's this fake thing, don't look at women in that type of way. Don't look at women for their body. A lot of those women, right? I saw this thing, and this is just a little side note, and then we're going to keep going. But they said, oh, there's a lot of rappers, who actually have some kind of intellect, but because they don't have that body, or because they're not willing to, present themselves in a certain way, they don't make it. So there's a whole bunch of hypocrisy and stuff with, like that. They look at those women and it's like, that's women empowerment. And then another example I'll use, Katy Perry, right? I believe her name, let me see, was Katie Hudson or something. And, she was trying to break into the music industry. And she made a couple albums. She was recording in Nashville. And then the first song that got her on was, I Kissed a Girl and I liked it. It was on all over the radio. It started getting played, it started getting buzzed. But guess what? Little Nas, I believe his pop sings gospel. I don't know, how, deep off and, he is in the church. But when I saw Little Nas' video, it's clear as day to me that, he's got some kind of church hurt. I don't know what happened, but he's got something, man. Like, it's almost like he's crying out in a tantrum. So we got to pray for him, and you look at all the tweets and things that he's been posting. It's like he's really trying to come at Christians. And then the same thing with Katy Perry. She comes from some kind of Christian background. Her father was a pastor, and these people really got to sell out to make it. And then they get used to push an agenda. She had the Kiss the Girl, I Liked It track, then the Fireworks track. Some people were saying that was like a LGBTQ anthem. And sometimes it's real subtle how they do it. Sometimes it's blatant. Sometimes it's just, a little subtle, more sneaky with how they do it. But the bottom line is there is an agenda that's being pushed. And I'm going to keep saying it. People say, oh, that's tired, that's old. Guess what? The devil ain't tired. The devil always trying to find a new artist to put out there, a new music video, a new strategy, a new way to get some legislation passed to come against our kids, to indoctrinate our children, to confuse our children, and Christians just sitting back chilling. I shared that video of these guys who rode with Farrakhan, Nation of Islam. And they said, look, man, if you force this vaccination on us, that's an act of war. And then, I see them and I see the Black Hebrew Israelites. I see Jehovah's Witnesses out there in the streets knocking on doors. I said, man, why is it that Christians just, obviously there always are a couple, right? There are a couple brothers out there street preaching. You guys know I be street preaching and stuff a lot. But it just don't seem like we got the boldness that we need to have. And with everything that's going on the last 2-3 years, it's like, come on, man, wake up. Wake up and realize we living in the end times, and it's time to take a stand. Even people in the world like Joyner, Lucas, I hope I'm saying his name right, they're looking at like, oh, no, something's wrong with this. And then a lot of Christians, it blows my mind. They try to defend it. They make excuses for it. Something I was talking about the other day, Justin Bieber recently came out with a Christian album. He's partnering with, Chandler Moore, and they made a couple songs on there. And, that's cool. I want people to cry out to Jesus. But my biggest fear is always the watered down Christianity, the threat of, right? It's not judgment to say with the judgment. There are standards. In any relationship, you have standards. You have boundaries. And so even with Jesus, when you read the Bible, there's standard. He said, take up your cross and follow me. People nowadays would be like, oh, that's works. Take up my cross. Why do you want me to take up your cross? That's works, And it's so much stuff going on. And I ain't going to get into all of that. We can make separate videos. But the bottom line is this. You look at this world, you see what's happening. You need to be praying. But then also look at how different groups of Christians are responding. And you're going to have to make up your mind and say, what kind of Christian do I want to be? What do I want to be associated with in these end times? Because now is not the time to just sit back and play around. Now is not the time to just take everything as a joke. Who do I want to be surrounded by? Because iron sharpens iron. What kind of brothers am I around? What kind of sisters? Am I around watered down Christians who are, just living a lifestyle that they're not taking up their cross? They just cuss, they're carnal, they're just doing all these things, just living according to their flesh. They're not taking up their cross. They're not crucifying their flesh. They're not walking in power. They talk, they critique, they judge, they know the Bible a lot, but there's no anointing, there's no power. What kind of Christians do I want to be around? Because there's so many to choose from. Work your own salvation. Be praying. Be seeking God. Realize that there's a war going on. And then say, Lord, surround me with the right kind of brothers and surround me with the right kind of sisters. That's what we need to happen. All right. That's what I need to happen. I pray every day, Lord, surround me with like-minded brothers and sisters who are on fire for you, who are not going to back down, who are not going to bow down, and who are willing to stand up against stuff like this, like with SNL. Just crazy to disrespect, man. www.marcusrisersministries.org. I am going to go actually live on YouTube. I'm going to try that. I've been banned on Facebook again. You guys know I get banned on there all the time for like 30-day periods. It's probably happened 25, 30 times. I've probably been banned on Facebook. So I'm going to try to go YouTube live and see how that goes. I love you guys. I mean that. Be blessed. Be encouraged. Keep fighting the good fight of faith.